Welcome to Down the Middle Podcast, Battlers. It's Joel and H tonight. We're on episode 56. It's grand final week. And if you are watching the YouTube, you've already seen our special guest. But if you're listening, we do have a special guest. H, I'm going to throw to you first, though, mate. How are you?
I'm good, mate. Another week in the books. Friday tomorrow. So, looking forward to a long weekend and the grand final that will be played on Sunday.
Lots of things this long weekend. I'm good too. Thanks for asking. Do you want to introduce our special guest?
I will. Sorry. As you all know, we run an NRL Tipping Comp, and now we're finished a week early because we've done the maths. We're very good at it, and no one can overtake him. And the winner is obviously, as you said, the viewers watching, Bayden. Welcome to the podcast, mate.
And
thanks,
congratulations,
boys. Thanks for having me.
Well done.
Yep. For a second time as well. For a second time, we'll put that out there.
Thanks for having me, fellas.
That's all right.
We got you on, Bades. As H said, yes, we are good at maths. He's four points ahead of fourth place, 2 points ahead of Shano, so couldn't be overtaken with only one game to go. Before we kick into the nitty gritty, mate, I want you to talk us through what was your gameplay this year to take out the comp?
Well, I've never come to top 3 or 5 in my life, so I was just sort of cruising along. I was battling with braids there most of the season, and I just knew after Origin I'd use me joke around, which didn't really work because I had a bit of an average round for it, but sort of just kept picking one or two, underdogs, pay it off.
That's one thing I wanted to know, because as H will know, every week when we talk about our tipping, I always just pick I try and claim that's an underdog, but it's not usually. It's usually just a shit tip. How do you draw the line between a shit tip and an underdog? And a second one is, when do you go head and when do you go heart? How often do you pick the chookies?
Oh, you got to be in it to win it. So there was a few times there I knew the chookies would lose, so I just wouldn't back them.
There you go. Kyle Taylor, listen to that one. You don't always have to back the Tigers.
Well, you started that a bit earlier, Joel. You kept taking the Dragons and then realised, you got to take the tip. You can't keep losing that 1 point in every game, because then it adds up throughout the season, I reckon.
And it did, because I come 7th.
Yeah.
Or 8th even, maybe.
Exactly. So, but nah.
Oh, very good, mate. Bades, you've won yourself officially. I think we'll officially announce it. You've won yourself a game of golf with the Down the Middle boys. Our third member, unfortunately, not with us tonight. He's out at another function. He's got functions every week. Poor fellow.
Yeah.
He's a busy man.
He's a busy man.
But we will get a game of golf. We'll talk about that off air. We'll get a game of golf. We'll put that up for the battlers to see. What's your golf game like? Any good?
I haven't swung a club for a couple of years, but
perfect.
He used to be good. He used to be pretty good. We used to play with hold himself. So
I can drive the ball, but the other areas might let me down.
You play with Corey? Or no?
I have.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
But
very good.
I have to actually go find if my golf clubs are still in one piece.
Well, I'd advise making sure you do have golf clubs before we go out. Generally, they are helpful.
Make it play a bit better.
Yeah, they're more of a necessity.
Yeah.
Oh, very good. H, what's our first topic for the night?
Mates, we haven't really talked about it too much, but obviously the sort of breaking news with the Australian rugby, or in the Rugby World Cup, they're the Wallabies, mate. They won their first game, then lost to Fiji, and then lost to Wales. And with how the other fixtures have gone their way, they actually cannot make it out of the group stages with one game left. And it's the first time in Rugby Australia history that the Wallabies will not make it out of the group stage in a World Cup. I thought it was a bit of a talking point there to sort of, they've been pretty bad for the last, I think, we haven't won a Bledisloe in 20-something years, I think it is. But yeah,
Rugby is really struggling right now. I don't watch it, to be honest. But this game against Wales just sort of piqued my interest. The fact that, like you said, since the dawn of time, we haven't. Well, since the dawn of time, we've always made it out of the group stage. This is the first time that we haven't. And to lose to Fiji and then Wales, probably two
the
teams.
Fiji one's the killer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wales are pretty good, but Fiji, was, I think, the kick in the guts that they didn't see coming.
Yeah. And I suppose there's heaps of hype around what's the coach's name? Eddie
Jones.
Eddie Jones, he's always biting at the media. It's come back to bite him in the ass, hasn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah. They played Portugal on Monday night. Thoughts?
I don't know, probably about time to give boys some debuts and.
But didn't they do that?
Run.
Didn't they get the young fellas in? Didn't they get the young fellas in for Wales?
Well, probably okay. Well, the young boys that haven't played then, whoever's left over.
Take the shackles off, let them go for gold.
Yeah, definitely.
Because don't they need some stupid technicality of like Fiji have got to lose by X amount and it's not going to happen or something for them to have half a chance at for and against to get out of the group stage or something? Or are they definitely out?
Don't know. Well, Fiji.
I heard that.
Play 2 more games. Fiji got to play 2 more games, so I think.
So maybe they have to lose both or something.
I think they've got Wales and Georgia, so I don't think Georgia's going to beat Fiji.
Maybe it was that they had to lose against Georgia by stupid amounts. Anyway, look, I've gone the Kangaroos jumper tonight to show my allegiance to rugby league. I think rugby is doing okay at a grassroots or a local level, but they just can't. I don't know. They're just seeing this massive decline at the elite level.
They're losing their star players at that schoolboy age. They all transition to the NRL.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I did see a story this afternoon on the Triple M about Angus Crichton, $1.8 million deal to the Western Force, but his management also phoning around to other NRL clubs, seeing if there's interest. So I'm guessing he doesn't really want to move to Perth and see what's out there. But he's he is a rugby union schoolboy.
He is. Like, that's a lot of money.
They reckon Suwali might be backflipping as well now. They reckon.
Yeah.
With his move to the Waratahs. The
one thing that gets me is that, and correct me if I'm wrong, correct me if I've misinterpreted this, but is it that the Wallabies and the All Blacks pretty much sign players?
They get them from high school, surely, don't they? Like,
but like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't go and play. Like, I don't know. It always seems to me that players, when they go into rugby, are going to play for the Wallabies or to play for the All Blacks. They're not going to play for a club. Like rugby league, you go and play for a club, and then you hope to play in the national team. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is that the same way you hear it, or is that just?
I feel like they got a lot more pride in the jersey in New Zealand, I think, as well.
Yeah.
And it's the national sport really. In here in Australia, I don't know. I feel like NRL and AFL are pretty dominant.
Yeah. Anyway,
I couldn't even. What's the top tournament called? I couldn't even tell you what it's called. Super Rugby, is that the top?
I think it's still Super Rugby.
But what I don't understand is in Super Rugby. So what's whatever the honey badger or whatever, because he went and played in Japan before he done all his TV stuff. He wasn't eligible to play for Australia. But it's club, not nation. Like, don't you want your best players playing?
There is, again, I've heard that through the week. sort of trying to get my head around it, and I still really can't. You got to play in certain competitions to be eligible to play for your nation and those sorts of, which is, I think they're overcomplicating it, making it too hard. Like, just get the.
If you're playing rugby, you're playing rugby. Like, it doesn't matter.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
If you're playing in the Super League in England, or if you're playing in the NRL in Australia and New Zealand, doesn't matter. If you're the best bloke at playing rugby league, well, you'll play for your nation.
Yeah, that's right. You imagine England turn around to Victor Radley and say you can't play for England in the World Cup because you play in Australia. Like
James Graham when he was
yeah,
out,
that's right.
Oh, sorry, mate. Geez, you're playing in Australia. That's a darn shame, isn't it?
Exactly.
How you wouldn't get any crossover ever because
no.
Yeah, or Gareth Widdop in his time playing for the Storm, winning premierships for the Storm. Oh, geez, it'd be really good to have you play for England, but you're playing down for the Storm. So sorry, mate, you can't do that.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I did also see the same article that I'm talking about today is that the rugby union come out and said that they want a high profile NRL player playing in every Super Rugby team.
Well, that's just not going to be possible.
No,
but also,
no,
mate, get your own
superstars,
get your own players, and make your own superstars and keep them in there.
That's right.
Don't.
That's right.
Oh, definitely, get some players, and we'd love to pull. You'd love to pull the best rugby union player over to rugby league because you just for a bit of crowd buzz, and you might bring 10 fans, and 10 fans might go back there to follow Suoliti or whoever. But
yeah,
that's just backwards.
The NRL did that, but they do it at an early age though. So obviously, Suoliti, he came from, and Cam Murray. Cam Murray nearly represented Australia for the young. I think in the young boys were like under 18s or whatever. And then South Sydney came in and took him away.
Yeah,
and they said he was one of the best prospects coming out of the Australian academy kind of thing for the union.
Yeah,
and he jumps over, and now he's one of the best players in South Sydney or in the NRL in the forward pack.
Yeah, and they do say it's a numbers related thing, but population obviously bigger in Australia than New Zealand. But I'd say the All Blacks are more dominant, in the rugby union than they are in the NRL.
Yeah,
definitely.
Look, I don't know. Just being an Australian, very disappointing to see any Australian team, create some sort of a record like the one that's just been created that they haven't got out of the group stage.
Ever. That's right.
They got. I don't know. I don't know. Got to do something. Maybe we've got to start following rugby to just get behind it. I don't know. There needs to be something, but don't know. That's bigger than us.
Definitely.
Let's cross. Do you want to cross back to our main sport? Let's cross back to rugby league.
100%, mate.
H Moore was falling asleep there.
No,
You wanted the segment, H.
I did. No, I'm moving forward to the next one. I'm just getting some of the stuff up, mate. Sorry,
mate. Okay, well you get it up because we're going to talk Dally M. Okay, last night we had the Dally M's. Bit of a, I don't know. Was it controversial? The end result? I don't know. Let's go.
It's more. Yeah, we'll get to it after.
No, okay.
No, I think it's more. I think it's the new Ford system. I think it's the first time they've done this system, and I think it should be one and done. To tell you the truth,
don't like it.
No, I don't. For many reasons that I'll get to later on when we get to the main.
Go on, you go. You start.
Well, we'll just run through. You just want me to run through all the awards, all the main ones for the.
Yeah, I was going to go. Let's go through the team of the year.
Oh, I don't have that up.
Oh, what were you going to go?
I was just going to go like I just went through the Instagram there and they got the post up. That's all. Like captain of the year and stuff like that. Flip that.
Mate,
that's right.
See what I'm dealing with. I got team of the year.
You go for it then. Go for it.
I should have thrown to you, Bades. This is an absolute. Okay, team of the year. Fullback, Kalen Ponga. Wingers, DWZ and Jermaine Osako. Thought that was pretty accurate. That was pretty good. For fullback, Kalen Ponga. Yeah.
He played most
probably.
of his good. He played most of his good games at fullback. So it's,
That's true. Yeah, I was considering that he only played a couple at the start of the year in the halves. Yeah.
at 5'8". So
Centers.
there you go.
Oh,
Another
no.
special guest. That's
Second special guest, Little Davis. Centers, Stephen Crichton, Herbie Farnworth, two incredible centers this year. I thought Herbie Farnworth has really, really come into his own.
I think he deserved it. I don't know if Crichton. I don't know. I wasn't the biggest fan of him this year. I don't know.
Who would you put ahead of him?
I'd probably put Brandon Best ahead of him. I think he had a pretty good, consistent year. He's usually been up and down, but I don't know. It's hard.
Yeah,
Like, I don't mind it, but that's more my personal opinion. But
I think considering they're both in grand final sides, who else are you going to pick?
yeah, that's what I think. It very much takes. I think that takes a toll into as well with how far they are going in the competition as well.
Yeah. 5'8", Ezra Mam. Ezra Mam for me is someone that I always, watching the Broncos games, I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like, he's kind of okay. He's playing next to Adam Reynolds. Adam Reynolds does it all. But he's actually pretty good. Like, some of his stats that I looked back through this week were, I sort of had to go, yeah, fair enough. Have to give him that. But I don't know. I just didn't see him as one of the Larry 5'8" of the season.
I think he's always just in it. I thought.
That's what I mean. Stats wise, I was like, it actually surprised me a fair bit.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm glad you got it, because usually they just go, oh, Cam Munster or something like that. You know what I mean? They just go traditional, top player. I like how they've a little bit gone out of the box there. And
well, who was the other one? Because I think it was it Mam, Munster, and someone else? Can't remember.
There was three.
I don't know that.
I think it was Reynolds. Or was he not?
Well,
Who did you say, Hayes?
Reynolds, or was he in? He would have been.
He's in halfback. Yeah.
It'll be on that Instagram page you're on. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The halfback winner was Sean Johnson. I thought that was definitely deserved. He's been outstanding all year. Obviously, the Warriors went really well, so that makes sense. Hooker Harry Grant. I probably didn't think Harry Grant had the greatest of seasons.
I think there's probably two more standout hookers that probably played a better year in Appy. Even I think him being at the Tigers probably hurts it a little bit. And
he was also injured
because he had the 6 weeks or 4 to 6 weeks or whatever. I think if he didn't get injured, he probably would have. I think he would have got it. And then even Wade Egan, he had a pretty good, but then he was sort of missed a couple of weeks here and there throughout the season.
He would miss a week here or there through injury, or I think maybe he got a suspension.
He had he might have got a suspension, but he had 2 head knocks in a row. I think he missed 2 weeks, 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I don't know. Harry wasn't outstanding for me. Anyway, props. Payne Haas and Adam Fanua-Blake. Definitely, I thought Adam Fanua-Blake's had a really, really solid season this year. Back row was Liam Martin, David Fifita, Shaw, play on, and lock of the year.
I don't know.
Patrick Carrigan.
Do you think Dave Fifita had a standout season?
Every time I watched him, he was playing pretty good, H.
Okay. Fair enough.
Or you want Teague Wilton in there or something?
I would have went Britton Nakora. I think I've seen a lot on social media. They reckon.
Here we go, Bates. Of course, he'll just put a Sharky in there. Yeah, well, sure.
No, I think he had his best season for the Sharks, but obviously.
Britton Nakora's best season was 2 years ago, or last year. 2 years ago.
This year, mate. But that's all right. Anyway, move on. Dave Fifita it is.
Mate, I didn't do the counting. I'm just reading the results.
Ben Hunt probably would have made the list, I reckon.
No, Ben Hunt would not have won anyway.
do the team of the year results, do they go off individual votes in their positions, or is that voted on separately?
I think it's voted on separately because they
I think
look
it's
like a
separately
candidate of like
because
8, like sort of 3 in each sort of position except for wingers and centers. There's a bit more.
Do you, well, obviously winger, there's 6 because there 2 of them get picked. Center's the same thing. Do you think he got picked due to lack of other, outstanding second rowers?
There wasn't too many this year, was there?
well, look, Britain Nakora played pretty well this year, Bayden. So
But when you have, I think there was only probably only 4, like 4 good, 5 good second rowers, and I don't know. I think that's probably where it does come undone a bit there. They haven't have too many, and then just go, oh, rightio. Like Liam Martin, he's a screw on. He had a pretty decent season for Penrith and New South Wales.
the only bad thing about all of this is it's based on personal opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not based on like you if you looked at the what's the VB hard earned team of the year
Index thing or whatever it is.
Yeah, completely different because that's all stats based. It's how many
Yeah.
runs you have, how many tackles you make. It's this, it's that.
Isn't that what it should go off though?
Mate,
Definitely.
Absolutely. But again, that could be skewed because you might be playing next to someone that sets you up for all of that stuff. But then I suppose you've got to be in the right positions to be running off that bloke and all that. I don't know. But put someone that makes 60 tackles a game, that's outstanding. But if you got two blokes in 1 week that make 40 tackles each, well, that could have been one bloke that was going really hard. There could have been a bloke that lost 80-0. And he had to make 40 tackles because his team never touched the ball. You know what I mean? So, like, the stats don't weigh up either, I guess. But
that's the problem.
Maybe there needs to be a 50-50. Anyway, that's team of the year. So, I thought most of that was deserved, maybe. H. Is that okay by you? Do you want the NRLW team of the year, or you don't care?
I don't think too many people care about it, do they? I think.
You said it.
Oh, that's fine by me.
Go with whatever you were going with. Goodness me, this is a shambles.
Well, no, I was just going to say, and then obviously with the Daily M winner, Kalen Ponga finishing on 56 points.
1 point ahead of Sean Johnson.
1 point. And then I was surprisingly, because I didn't watch the end of it. And then when I woke up to see the leaderboard with Nico Hines in third, I went, I don't think he should have been anywhere near it.
Yeah, well, the final leaderboard
2 points off going
the
back to back.
Final leaderboard was Kalen Ponga 56, Sean Johnson 55. Scotty Drinkwater was on 50, but it says little asterisk next to his name, ineligible due to suspension. Is that what? If you got suspended at all during the year?
Yeah, it's exactly like the Brownlow. If you get suspended, you can't get the award.
Jeez, that sucks for Scotty Drinkwater. Anyway, he didn't win, so I guess it doesn't matter. Nico 48, Harry Grant 47.
Yeah, wow.
Daly Cherry Evans 46. I think Daly Cherry Evans probably had a pretty good season this year. Adam Fanua-Blake 44. The first, well, apart from Harry Grant, the first forward, so pretty much the best forward, Adam Fanua-Blake, that's pretty good. Dylan Edwards 42, probably could have deserved a few more. Nathan Cleary 42, Payne Haas 42, Isaiah Yeo 42. So it's pretty 50-50 between sort of playmakers and then some of your forwards there with Fanua-Blake, Payne Haas, Yeo, and Harry Grant. What were you going to say, H? Sorry, cut you off.
With the new way they did it, instead of last year, it was 3 points per game.
Yeah.
So this year it's 6 points per game with 2 judges. So, and I heard Mal Meninga say this afternoon that Kalen Ponga, out of the last 9 games, he got, I think he was polling nearly top for the 8 games. So nearly he was getting 5 to 6 points for the last games, and that's why he's literally gone from nowhere to winning it. And I think that's where I hate it, because Shaun Johnson was pretty consistent from round one.
Yeah.
And you haven't been able to hear or say that for a long time, because he's always had the injuries. And Warriors have been pretty consistent all year as well. So, yeah, I don't know. That's my sort of take on it.
Yeah, well, I think
Yeah,
Kalen
I'm with
Ponga
you
picked
there,
up
Hades.
Ponga picked up 6 points in round. What was the last round? 26, 27?
27.
I think 20, because none of them played 27. So I think pretty much whatever was after 26, it was pretty much set in stone.
Yeah. So I think he picked up 6 points in that final game, which jumped him from 50 to 56 to win by 1. You know, yeah. I suppose everyone's eligible to get 6 points, but
Why are we trying to make it so many points? Why don't we just go back to the old way of system? No one ever before this year. No, I haven't heard that much controversy around someone winning the Daily M. Last year, Hines won it by a clean slate, and because he had the best year out of anyone in the football. Like,
well, I still think Ben Hunt should have won last year.
Well, he slipped off. And then you've had other years in ties, and they're going, yep, that's fair enough. They're the two best players. Like,
Yeah.
But this year, you try a new system, and everyone's going, well, he shouldn't have won. Like it.
I think it's crazy that he won, considering he started the year at 5'8", injuries. How did he still win? That's what I want to know.
Like, out of the first 9 rounds, I don't think he would have been in double-digit points, like in the polling.
Yeah, you know, when it goes behind closed doors, I can't remember.
I think it's round 12.
Yeah, it's about round 12. I wonder if we could find those sorts of numbers, because I don't really, Knights weren't going good. I certainly don't remember seeing his name while we knew the
I think
stats
Shaun
there.
Johnson and Harry Grant were 1 and 2 going into behind closed doors. Yeah,
that would sound right. But yeah, I certainly think he had a great 10-week period whilst the Knights were winning. But that's 10 weeks out of 26, 27. Like, I want the bloke that played good round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way through to 27. I want the bloke that played good every single week, bar 3 weeks, where he had just a quiet game. I want them to be getting 2-3 points every single week, because they deserved it. Not the bloke that just got.
Sorry, go on.
No, go.
Do you think it also comes down to if there's anyone else in the team to take points off them? Like, you think Shaun Johnson,
that's another point as well.
He has Aiden Fanua-Blake, who could have been beating him some games to the top point scorer. So instead of scoring 6, he might have got 3, or however it works. You got DWZ, Chance, Nickel. There's a couple of other good players that had some, or Tohu Harris. You think about the Knights. Wheeler Mason had his comments about the Knights, but the side's pretty ordinary.
Well, that's where I think coming into it with Kalen Ponga, Nico Hines, and Cherry Evans, they're the 3 guys that really stand out to me and go, well, if their team wins, they're going to poll 6 votes.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Because if Sharks win, it's Nico. If Manly win when Turbo's out, it's Cherry Evans. And if Knights win, because it's Kalen Ponga getting 3 tries, there's 2 tries,
Yeah, or he's got his hands on every play that they play.
And that's where I think we would like to go back to 3, like just 1, 2, 3 for that.
Well, of that top 10, in the same sort of vein, Dylan Edwards, Nathan Cleary, Isaiah Yeo, 42, 42, 42. 14 points behind Kalen Ponga, because, as you're saying, Bates, those points would have been spread amongst those 3 most games.
Cleary,
what's that?
Cleary had the play off as well.
And so Cleary had that little bit of time off. Yeah, that's true. But everyone else is sort of one person from one team. And you're exactly right, H. Nico, if the Sharks are winning, Nico played a big part. Shaun Johnson and Adam Fanua-Blake and DWZ, you know,
You can
and
probably even put Teddy into that list as well, because I think he finished in the top. I think he finished in the top 10 as well. I think, if I'm not wrong.
well, not by my numbers, champ.
No, I thought I've seen something in, but it's another one. If the Roosters win, 9 times out of 10, it would be more with Teddy being a pretty big hand in it.
Yeah, one shock that I thought was, how didn't Gutho make it in the top 3 nominees for fullback? And Teddy beat him, and Teddy had a pretty ordinary year.
It's a good shout. I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
Like, you think Gutho, on the back of Parramatta winning, it's Gutho. Like, how many 2 or 3 tries did he score?
But when I seen the list, they went, "Oh, Caleb Ponga or Reece Walsh are going to win it."
Yeah, that's right.
Like, but it's more. I did see the Teddy one. I went, "Oh,
It was
I'm
Kalen,
surprised.
Teddy, and Reece, wasn't it?
That's right.
Look, Teddy's done all right to get on that nominee, because at one
I think they
stage,
picked out of the hat the Teddy truth. I think they're going, right now, we'll put everyone else in the hat and just let you."
look, we were calling for him to not even play State of Origin at one stage.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, look, again, I go back to that personal opinion. It just, it just.
Who were the judges?
Oh, there's a whole host of them, isn't there?
Yeah,
It's all sorts of blokes. It'll be different blokes every week. It'll
Yeah,
be
right.
people that are commentating, or journalists, and
committees,
Matty Johns and all this sort of stuff, and you know, Sterlo will be doing it one week, and but it just, you know, and I might watch a game and go, "Oh, yeah, didn't think Ponga played real well," and H would be sitting there going, "Are you joking? He touched the ball 400 times. He did this, he did that, he did this," and I go,
Yeah.
But I reckon, you know, Nico on the other team played better. So I just, there's just, but I agree with you, H. It wasn't broken, so why'd they try and fix it?
Because they want to make it more exciting. They want more, they want more daily M points. They want more. I think it's that way, and I don't think it should be.
Did they do it themselves? Did the AFL or anyone like that make any moves similar? Or
Nah, I don't think the AFL changed. They haven't changed anything. They're a side that they don't fix anything unless it's broken. Like, they don't change anything. They just stick to their guns. They, you know, have
AFL. I feel like AFL are a lot more. What's the word? Is it old school? You know, they're historic. They're you know, entrenched in that history and that nostalgia. Whereas NRL are like, bright flashing lights. Let's do something. Business. Let's make it. It's all like, it's fun. Get people in. Where it's like, we just want the Dally M winner. We just want the best bloke that played good all year.
Yeah, you know? Exactly.
Anyway,
that's it.
So look, Sean Johnson probably dudded. Anyone else you think could have won it?
SJ for me.
Yeah. Sean Johnson. Yeah.
And he just gets nothing. You know, no consolation prize.
Oh, we got half back of the year, so he got a trophy at least.
Yeah, but well, I suppose that is a consolation prize, and he gets knocked out in the prelims. So
forward pass.
We'll get onto that. Let's go on to that. Let's go on to the games last week, eh? Kick us off.
No worries. Well, obviously, in the first game, the Penrith Panthers winning 38-4 against the Melbourne Storm. I think
that was massive.
Well, I did say 13 plus. I didn't think 34 points.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying. But I think everything caught up to Melbourne. Melbourne didn't play 2 good games in the final series. They got smacked by Brisbane, scraped through against the Roosters. And then obviously that showed with them coming up against a quality team that don't really give you much in the sort of play. And they obviously in the end score there, they did it pretty easy.
I thought the first 20 minutes, Melbourne were a chance of winning. 20th minute, Brian Toto scores his second, and I still thought Melbourne will come back here, and they might even take the lead before halftime.
See, I sort of agree with you, but then looking at them, they just, I don't know, they just didn't have any go, like to go forward. There was just, I don't know, it was lackluster.
Well, there was a couple of chances there in that first.
When Justin Olam's dropped that on the left hand
Yes,
side coming through, I think
what it
that was a big momentum shift. But
I don't know. Cam Munster, I think, I don't know, is he back on the grog or is he still off the grog? I don't know. Whatever one he's on, he's doing, he needs to go back and do the opposite because he's just, I don't know. I think he's really lost his way at the moment.
I think Melbourne lost their way. They might have, finished second overall, but I don't know. They showed in the finals, like against the Roosters. We were pretty lucky to be there in that game, but they've just looked like they don't have much direction in the field. No Jerome Hughes. The boys that left to go to the Dolphins.
That's true.
I think I don't think that was talked enough during the year. I think there were three key losses there, and obviously I think it showed back in the final series they didn't have the experience like they usually have.
And probably Paps. And probably Paps in the oven. Like he's an attacking threat. He's a point scorer. I don't have the stats, but I reckon if we look at last year, he probably scored an absolute bucket load of their points or led to a lot of their points. He was their goal kicker. Correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't he?
Yeah.
No, he was.
Like, not that it makes too much of a difference, but sometimes it does. Yeah, Melbourne, I don't know. We called it early this year, H. They're not the team they used to be.
No, they weren't, and they sort of proved us wrong. Obviously, finishing third, but then what we expected of them came to fruition in the final series there.
Yeah. Anyway, shout out to Stephen Crichton for ruining my multi. Thank you, champion. Love that. Three Panthers try scorers. They score 38 points, and Crichton didn't contribute. No.
Usually he's the one that's scoring three of them because he doesn't want to pass the ball.
Yeah, you could bank on him every week to score.
Well, gentlemen, that's what I did.
Well, tell me you want to score this one because I'm not putting them in my multi.
No, I don't think I'm having a bet this week because I don't want to ruin it for myself or anyone else. Bayden, I said to H last weekend, I said that was the most sensible multi I've put on, I think, ever. Panthers score 38 points and I still get shafted. So I love that for me.
That's pretty stiff.
Bet with your head, not over it. What's the other? What are they doing these days? Chances are you're going to lose. Yeah,
you lose more or something like that, You lose more than you gain more or something like that. I think it is, isn't it?
I don't know, but whatever it is, that's what happens to this guy. So all good.
That's right. Then the second game, with the Brisbane Broncos winning 42-12 against the Warriors, up at Suncorp there. I think this game was a fiery start, pretty quick start with all the tries going on. I sort of missed the first 20 minutes and I turned it over. I think it was
would have been 16-10 or something. 16-8?
16-10, yeah. And I'm going, geez, that's a quick 20 minutes there.
Man, that first 20 or even sort of 25, I was sitting at the pub. And where I was sitting, the bar was over there, but there was a mirror behind the bar and the TV was on behind me. So anyway, I'm chatting away. I said, great, game's coming on. No drama. So I was sort of half paying attention to the conversation I was supposed to be in, looking up, and then got distracted. And I looked up, bang, Warriors have scored. Far out. And then it was bang, Broncos have scored. Bang, Warriors have scored. Bang, Broncos. I was like, what? I was really getting a little bit pissed off at my mates that wanted to talk to me because I'm like, I just want to watch this bloody screen because it was just bang, bang, bang going really hard. Again, that first 20 minutes, I thought we were going to get an upset. I thought Warriors were going to win.
Oh, I was never on that bus with you, though.
Mate, DWZ scores 2 in the first 15 minutes. I was like, come on, Warriors. Let's go.
Sean Johnson couldn't kick a ball, could he?
Zero from 3.
Sean Johnson didn't kick. It was Adam Pompey.
Oh, was he? He was
Oh.
still, he still wasn't
Yeah.
kicking. Okay.
Yeah, he missed every kick.
Why is he kicking? Who is the kicker?
It's Sean Johnson, but he has a calf strain.
Oh, but that's right. He's got that.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, oh.
Not that their conversions mattered in the end.
No, it probably didn't hurt him too much, that 6 points. The forward pass. Thoughts on the forward pass? Doesn't matter. In my book, that's carry on, mate.
No,
NFL.
It was 100%. It was never like obviously that never changed the game. The game was done before that forward pass. But I swear we sit here every week and there's one howler in each game, and then the NRL come out and say, "Oh, we got it wrong." It's well, there's no, as we said last week, there's no point coming out to apologise because it's not going to change the result or nothing.
I think we got it. I know they keep saying they can't rule on a forward pass. If we can rule on everything else, if we've got a freaking bunker that is doing all the other crap, surely we just got to get some money into the budget. We've got to set up, I don't know, 6, 8, 10 extra cameras in every single stadium that ever gets played at. Get some portable ones to take out to Mudgee and take out to Dubbo for when we play out there, or Darwin for when we play out there. We just got to sort this shit out. We've got to get some VAR technology. We've got to sort out the forward pass because it's getting a little bit ridiculous when, fair enough, the touchy misses it. Like, very hard to probably keep up with Reece Walsh and who else was it? Was it Herbie? Outside him? Who was outside him? It was Herbie, right? Very hard to keep up with them. They're two of the quickest in the game. I don't expect the touchy to be able to keep up with them, but the cameras should be able to pick it up. And we should be able to go, yeah, it looks like it went forward because he threw it from here and he caught it here. That's forward in my book because it went towards that touch line or that try line. Like, that's got to be sorted, surely.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I just think, how do like some of these tries, you see them rule on, frame by frame, they stop it, they slow it down.
But you got one finger just, maybe because it's blurred. Yep, that's a try.
Yeah, and because the ref made a call, we'll just stick with what he said, but he couldn't see,
Yeah, absolutely. He was standing behind a bloke going like this. Oh, probably a try. Let's send it upstairs.
Well, I've got one for you. You boys, footy, watch a bit of footy. If the Roosters Melbourne game, Harry Grant drops the ball directly in front of the referee, play on, the bunker goes, no, hold on. There's a blatant, are you boys upset if they go back because there was a clear knock on?
No.
Only if there's a stoppage in play.
I don't want them ringing down. Going, hang on, I've just got something in my ear.
Yeah. If it's no money in the stoppage of play, but not like, yeah.
So after that knock on, Harry Grant goes to score though on the same set or the set leading after that.
We go back and look at it.
Or do you think the refs just need to be? Do you think the refs are under too much pressure to make a call, or he was right there? Ashley Klein was probably 7 meters away.
I do remember that one. And I picked it from my lounge.
If he calls it a knock on, right, Melbourne can challenge it.
That's right.
So I think you just said it there, babe. I think the refs do get scared and they don't want to stop the game. So I think they just let it go. But then the Roosters got to give away a penalty to then challenge that.
Yep.
And then if it's not a knock on and they still get then Melbourne still had the penalty and then go for 2 points or a try.
Yeah. I personally think the refs are starting to referee the game like their decision. So what they call, like you just said, was, do you think their decisions are based on, well, I'll give you the opportunity to challenge in case I am wrong, not that's my ruling because that's what I saw.
Yeah. I think they should go, you know what, that's a 50-50 call. I'll call a knock on, and then if I've got it wrong, they're gonna keep the ball.
Yeah.
And if I've got it right, the right team is gonna get the ball in that situation.
Yeah.
I honestly just reckon, like, I don't know. I love to argue with a ref. Don't get me wrong. Some of my fondest memories are arguing with the referee. But like, Yeah, I don't know. Just call it. I get again, like maybe he just didn't think. I don't know. That's a hard one, Bates. That's a really hard one because then how far back again? Harry Green goes to. Did he actually score that the other day?
Yeah, pretty sure he scored. He scored the next try after that because he ran straight through
Only
the
a
line.
couple tackles after, I think.
Yeah,
So like, if it's in the same set, I think you can probably go back and rule on it. And the I picked it up watching the TV, so I think that the bunker is probably watching it, going, "Oh shit, he's just dropped that," and the ref hasn't called it. So then, if it goes to be a try, he just quickly buzzes down and goes, "Mate, 3 tackles ago he dropped it. You can't award that." Okay, no dramas. But if it's like 2 sets later, if it's like then the attacking set of the other team and it gets turned over and what, like, yeah, I don't know. That's hard. I think it's just got to be within that set. And if the ref missed it and you've got to play by the whistle, well, bad luck.
But
We've
even
all had those.
like after the knock on, normally the ball sits on the ground. The bunker can surely see it pretty quickly. Go, hold on, wrong decision there.
Yeah, but I like H's thing with the stoppage of play. I also don't want a ref going, oh, hang on, boys, hang on. I've got something in my ear. What was that?
Yeah,
Hang
right.
on. We've got to go back because it's like
Yeah,
you're on the field, you do your job.
yeah.
Unless you need the extra help, which is what you do, because you need the extra help. I don't know. Good point, though. Very good point. This is why we needed him tonight, H.
Better than Shane.
This week we got the grand final. Okay. First of all, question. Where are we watching from? Where are you going to be?
H, you go first, mate.
I had plans to go up to Bayden's house.
Ooh.
And the missus going,
no.
your friends are having a party. I went, rightio. I'll say yes.
Good man, H. You're a good man.
But yeah. So I'll be watching it at friend's house. What about you boys?
That's disappointing. Is he not going to Bayden's house?
Well, I don't even know. I don't even think it was at Bayden's house, but his street.
It was in the street outside of my house.
Oh, you do have one of the great streets, don't you?
Yeah, mate. I have a classic street. So bit of a street party, bit of a bit of a cook up.
Do you guys block off the street, cordon it off?
New Year's normally, yes. No, we do. No, cars across the driveway, cars across the road.
Oh, even better. Love that.
Yeah.
No one in, no one out, baby.
When the 3 people that live next to each other are at the party, no one needs to get to those houses. Block the road off there. Happy days.
Are you a cul-de-sac?
No, I'm a through road.
So it's just unlucky guys.
They go around the block and go to the other end.
So the little section in the middle.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm the same. I'm in my garage so I can see out my house now. Right? So there's about 4 of us, like me next door and across the road. We've talked about the same thing. Just putting some cones out, or we're going to get some topsoil delivered. And I said, no, we don't all order it. Just get the truck to dump it right in the middle of the road, and we'll just go and shovel in what we need.
100%.
But my idea was the same thing. I'm like, doesn't matter if someone wants to come in there and they can't get through, they just do a Yui, piss off, go around. I love that. That's really good. I think that's maybe a grand final weekend special for you. Get the cars out.
Yeah, it'd be a good little turn on. Hopefully the weather's all right.
Very good. I'll just be on the lounge.
On the lounge by yourself, mate, with the family.
Look. Yeah, what's it? 7:30 kickoffs? That's doable.
It's
maybe.
killer though. It's such a shit time. Like
I think it's 8 o'clock kickoff, 7:30 start, but by the time they,
carry on and this and that, and
it's the long fucking weekend. Start the games at 12. I could be the head chairman of the NRL. 12 o'clock for the New South Wales versus Queensland Cup, that final.
Yeah, the state championship. Yep.
The state championship, and then 2:30 for the women's.
Absolutely.
5:30 for the men's. The game's up. The game might be over by the time it's bloody kicking off originally.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm absolutely with you, mate.
And
5:30.
because it's daylight savings, the kicks in Sunday. So
I'm going to be up at Sparrow's Fart anyway. So please, give me something.
it's not going to get dark until what, 7? Is it 7:30?
Yeah, probably because it's still pretty
that's the
early.
start of it.
Yeah.
You can still finish, and they're doing a presentation when it's starting to get dark. You could turn the lights on. Look,
But that,
sign me up.
you can get into your work afterwards then.
Hey, what are the Karens going to do if they can't watch a 6 o'clock news because your rugby league's on?
Put it on Go or Gem.
Yeah, 100%.
Mate. Oh, finally.
Who's watching?
Move all that shit. Move like a current affair. Piss that off. Piss off Sydney Weekender. Piss off whatever else is on. Put it on Go.
Yeah.
Put it on Gem. Put it on freaking whatever else is the other Channel 9 crap. Don't need it.
No,
Put it on
I'm
9
with you.
now. Go and watch your news on the app. You really need the news.
Why can't they watch news at 8 o'clock instead of 6 o'clock?
It's not going to change. It's pre-recorded.
You move everything earlier. You can still have your 6:30 your 6:30 news. Right, and everything's over.
You could get the news in between the women's and the men's game.
Yeah, 100%.
There's your 25 minutes.
If you have to, you move it forward. Have a half an hour gap, and then the coverage. You go, alrighty, guys. The coverage is moving to Gem for half an hour, and then it's coming back to Channel 9 at 5:30 or something like that.
I just don't reckon you're getting any better viewership or attendance at the game having it at 7:30.
You'd be getting less viewership. You'd obviously get the same attendance, obviously, because people are just going to go whenever it is.
That's fine, but you're not getting more, is what I'm saying.
That's right.
No, you're losing viewership, 100%.
What time's AFL kick off?
I think it's like 1:30 or something. 1:30 on a Saturday, I think.
And there's not a
Saturday
seat in the stadium.
2:30 p.m. kickoff. So it would be. Oh no, I can't even say that because it's on a Saturday. So it's
on Saturday. 2:30 on a Saturday. You know why they do that?
It's prime time.
It's sit down on your lounge of an afternoon. The sun is shining. You're out on the back deck, wherever you are. And then once it's finished, let's start up the barbie for dinner now. Let's get into it. That's what people want to do.
Yeah.
And I've heard people go, well, they, with Channel 9 have too much power in the NRL, right? Because of the TV rights deal, right? Channel 7 have the same power in the AFL as Channel 9 have in the NRL, and they say, oh no, we love the afternoon game. We don't want to have a 7 o'clock grand final. I don't know if it's because Channel 7 run things a little bit better in some aspects. Obviously, they've failed in some other things with the sport, but the AFL has always been their bread and butter, and it's always been a day grand final in the AFL that I can remember. And the NRL moved it. And the NRL moved it from an afternoon to the evening.
I just don't reckon that helps anyone.
No, I just think personal experience is, after lunch, the boys say, let's go for a couple beers. You imagine the same scenario, but the AFL's on, and your mates want to do something, and you think, it's at 2:30, I'm going. Whereas now, if you said, you want to come up for some beers at 8 o'clock at night, you'd probably, by the time 5 o'clock goes, you're going, hey mate, just staying home.
How many grand finals have you not really watched because you're like this, just going, mate, I've had 10 beers. Yeah. I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
It's a long day because I did it in 2016.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, there you go.
I left my house.
You did have one of the great days that day.
It's the biggest day I've ever had. I left home, I think, at 8:30, and I was on a train at Campbelltown, I think, just before 9:30. And I was in at the footy at 11 a.m. And that's when they had the Holden Cup.
Mm.
Holden Cup on. So I went. I spent $4.50 on my ticket. I went, mate, I'm watching all these games. I watched the Holden Cup, the State Cup, and then it was another. I think it was another game as well. I think they had 3 or 4 games on. And
They would have had like maybe the New South Wales Police or something.
yeah,
Probably.
I think they had something on,
Or the
and
Defence Force or something.
yeah, it was mass. It was, and the last thing I did was I fell asleep in front of Cronulla train station at 4 a.m. Like
After going to Fusions or something.
I didn't get home until 10:30 Monday morning. But obviously that's
But
my doing
how
as well.
how much sitting around did you do in the stadium that day? Just sitting around waiting.
Heaps.
If they can't do stuff with a half an hour turnaround in between games,
The gaps
I'm
are
not
so
in.
massive.
Like they're an hour and a half or something, just about. Like, far out. What are you doing?
It's ridiculous. But anyway, that's right. We better move into the actual how we think the game is going to go.
Well, quickly, the state championship is going to be the Bunnies versus the Tigers. Who are they? The Someone Tigers. The
Yeah, I'll go on top of that, mate.
doesn't matter.
I know
Bunnies probably win.
it's Newcastle Knights versus the Gold Coast Titans in the women's.
In the women's, I'm going the Knights. I reckon they go back to back.
I think they go pretty easy, as well.
Yeah, definitely 13 plus.
Titans played right against who'd they play last week, Bates?
Chookies.
Oh, jeez, Chookies, go on. Anyway, the big game, Panthers Broncos. H, talk me through it. Who are your main players?
Oh, well, I think the main players. I think if you pick 3 players out from each side, I think you can go with the reigning Churchill medalist Dylan Edwards, Nathan Cleary, and Isaiah. I think they're pretty safe, very safe bets of one each, and obviously at the back, in the middle, and sort of in the forwards as well.
Mm-hmm.
Or even you could probably say maybe Liam Martin if he sort of wins the battle against Ricky or Capewell. I think he might have a field day, to tell you the truth, because. So, but yeah, I think whoever wins the forward battle will very much be in control of the game, I think.
Okay, battle of the forwards. All right, 2 big packs: James Fisher-Harris, Moses Leota, Payne Haas, Thomas Flegler. That's 4 blokes that I do not want to run into in a dark alley.
And obviously, I think, is Pat Carrigan a co-captain?
Yep.
Or is it Adam Reynolds?
No, Pat Carrigan, I think, is the sole captain.
Oh, is he?
I think they've got Adam Reynolds down as captain these days.
Do they?
Yeah, that's what. So even Isaiah versus Carrigan, that's sort of another Origin Arena battle there.
That's true. That's true. I am going to keep my eye on Reece Walsh because I reckon the Panthers have been doing a heap of video on how to shut down Reece Walsh. I reckon that will be their sole target. I don't reckon they'll be worried about the forwards because it's going to be hit for hit. I think the biggest thing they'll be trying to do is make sure Reece Walsh cannot get that ball in his hands. That's what I'd be doing if I was the Panthers. And then on the flip side, for the Broncos, it's really about trying to shut down Nathan Cleary. Thoughts? Don't all go quiet just after me.
I'm with you there. I think they're going to, both ways, shut down Walsh, shut down Cleary. But then again, there's so many other players playing as well.
You can't focus too much. Like, that's what I mean. Like, it's good. Like, obviously, teams are going to try and shut down Cleary, but then you've got Dylan Edwards, Jerome Luai, obviously Stephen Crichton, Liam Martin. And that same goes for Brisbane though. I'm not just going to say, Penrith. You try and shut down Reece Walsh. You got Cobbo. He's been pretty quiet for the last 2 months. But if you let Payne Haas, Pat Carrigan, Flegler,
That's
them
true.
boys get a leg up. Like they give the go forward. Adam Reynolds be on the front foot. Billy
Ezra
Walters
Mann
been
won 5/8 of the year.
exactly right. Like So yeah,
Okay. So with that, if you are grand final team coach, if you're the coach of either of these teams, what's your I don't know, like your goal this week? Are you going, all right, boys, we do what we do every week? Are you changing something up? Are you going in with a specific game plan to beat or to match the other team? Or are you going, no, we do what we do week in and week out?
I think Ivan Cleary doesn't worry about what Brisbane are doing at all.
Yeah, okay.
I think he knows what he's doing. He knows what his ship needs to do. And that's it. You know what I mean? I just think, there's so many flashy players, but, Cleary kicks the corners. The backs have real hard runs back, on kick returns. Forwards know what they're doing. As you said, they're just going to go hit for hit in the forwards. I think Ivan just, tells them, head down, do what we do every week.
I pretty much agree with that. I think Ivan will stick to the game plan. I think he'll do what he usually does. I think they have that game plan, they stick to it, and then they let Liam Martin. They give him a target. I feel target would be Adam Reynolds. I think it's his. I think they're on the same side. I think it's more his job to probably try and rattle him or Reece Walsh.
Yeah.
And then if he's able to do that, then the boys will probably be able to capitalise on that, get on the front foot. But then obviously that's going to be the same for the Brisbane Broncos, I reckon. They'll stick to their game plan and they might have Jordan Ricky go after Jerome Luai or Nathan Cleary.
I think Penrith have to be wary of the razzle-dazzle of the Broncos. I think a tight game, a freakish play by, Ezra Mann, Walsh. You got Katoni Staggs, Cobbo, one of them, piece of magic, and they could, clutch the game.
It's very different to them playing the Eels last year. The Eels, sure, certainly deserve to be in the grand final, but I don't know. This Brisbane team for the last 5 months have been really solid, and that razzle dazzle. They've had the razzle dazzle. They've also had the tough carries. They've also had the hard work. Look, if I'm Penrith, I don't know. Maybe the three-peat might rattle them a little bit. It might sort of get them.
No, I don't think so.
I just have a feeling. I have a feeling that maybe not that they'll come undone, but they might just open up a little hole. And like you're saying, Bates, I think a little hole will be enough for a team of relatively young blokes. If I look at the team, relatively young blokes led by an old head in Adam Reynolds, and they will be looking for that tiny little bit of space, that tiny little crack, and they're going to just absolutely jump on that opportunity.
Yeah, 100% agree with that.
Nice. Finally, I've got someone that agrees with me. I love it.
That's true. I also saw a report this week that Penrith have been warned about their block play they run, that the markers and forwards can't get it Cleary on his last kicks, that they'll get penalised for running, the block play like a wall when they're going for a field goal. So they've been running that play to protect Cleary from getting tackled, and they've been warned.
The one that the Roosters did against the Sharks in the
that's right.
That's right. That illegal. They had the two blokes right next to the bloke that was playing the ball.
Play the ball.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That the one that should have been blown a penalty right late in the game.
Yeah. But sometimes
they do the same
miss
thing.
the calls. Remember? Yeah. Sometimes they miss those things.
Look, I just think the bunkers should be able to rule on those sorts of things straight away and call down to the referee and let them know as soon as they see it in the footage.
I don't agree with that, because then it just fucking stops play. Just like he got the field goal, rightio, let's go, kick off.
Hey, dumbass, I was being facetious because I just said the opposite thing about 5 minutes ago. Jeez, you're an idiot.
Anyway, how do you boys see the game going? Who we tipping?
What did I say to you the other day? Panthers by 8. or Panthers by 10,
Six.
something like that.
I think you said 8.
But I will actually be cheering for the Broncos. Does that make any sense? I don't know.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I don't think it does.
I do, because I'm going with what you said before about the whole three-peat. Could it be too much? I don't know. It could go either way. Either Penrith
could go either
There's
way.
no sitting on the fence here, mate. We
either
want one
team
team
could
or
win.
another team. Not getting away
There's
with
two
that.
teams, Bades. We know either one could win. One will win,
I
one will
reckon-
lose. That's what it'll be
That's a
by the end of
given.
it.
Yeah. I don't know. I might go Broncos.
Love it.
Oh yeah, I've stated pretty early in the week. Penrith by minus 19.5. So I think Penrith will win
by
20.
minus 19.5.
I think Penrith by 20.
That's what we want to hear. Penrith by 20.
Yeah. I don't know. I see that probably good first half. Then I think in the second half, Penrith will show their class a bit and run away with it.
Will Stephen Crichton score a try? Should I put him in my multi?
He will score a try.
Okay, he's in. Perfect.
And then even to move on to that, then obviously we predicted that. Who will be the Clive Churchill medalist then?
I really, really would love Dylan Edwards to win it.
Back-to-back.
Off the back of last year, back to back. I think back to back the first time since God knows.
Maybe Teddy? Did Teddy do back to back?
No, it's way back with like Norm Proven and someone else.
The originals. Yeah, right.
I think there was anyway something that I read this week, but also back to back a bloke that's never played a rep game.
Very true.
Right?
And he might
Never played a rep game, and he could win back to back Churchills. That is absurd. And would be a 3-time premiership winner. Never played a rep game. So if the Panthers win, that's who I hope gets it. If the Broncos win, because that's who I'll be cheering for, Adam Reynolds. And I think that'll make his time at Broncos better than almost his time at Souths.
Definitely.
There you go.
Thank you, Bayden.
Yeah, Dylan Edwards if Penrith win. I reckon Reece Lightning if Broncos get up.
Reece Lightning. Nice.
Hayes absolutely hates him, so I'll cheer him on.
Hate him. And I'm going to go a bit of both different direction than you. If Penrith win, Liam Martin. And then if Brisbane win, I reckon it's off the back of their strong run in, it will be Paddy Carrigan.
Big Paddy, yeah. Good shout.
Okay. You got a little thing for Liam Martin, don't you?
I'll
You
take
like
him in a
him?
heartbeat. Definitely,
Take him up.
I would definitely take him in a heartbeat.
I worked
Anytime
with his
try scorer
missus
this
for a while,
weekend,
actually.
Hayes?
What was that, sorry?
Anytime try scorer.
What about first time try scorer? Stephen Crichton. Put that in your multi.
I think he was saying, is Liam going to score? Anyway.
Oh, yeah, he'll score as well. Yeah, he'll score as well. But Stephen Crichton first time.
Classic. Anything else on the grand final, boys?
That's enough
Gamble
for me.
responsibly. If you are going to have a multi, gamble responsibly. Look, don't go silly with your multis because they're not all going to get up. That's the main thing that you got to remember. Okay, Bades, just remember that. Don't go
I'll
silly.
remember that, mate. When I'm putting $2 on it, thank you.
Sound like Shane. It's good to have you.
Bet with your head not over it.
Absolutely. But the bigger you bet, the bigger you win. That is what they say. That's one of the great the one of the great tips I learned from Stuart Miani. Big bets, big wins. He didn't tell me at the time big bets, big losses.
Yes, you gotta win them big bets to get the big wins.
Yes, but anyway. Wrapping it up, mate, with a bit of golf. The Live Golf Chicago was on over the weekend. This will roll into Ryder Cup. Bryson DeChambeau, the champion, over the weekend. A Ryder Cup omission for Team USA. Your man, H. Moore, Bryson, played pretty well with an 8 under on the final day, just pipping Mark Leishman and his own teammate Aniban Lahiri, both on 12 under. What's your thoughts?
Obviously, because the teams are done. I think they were done a month ago now. I think it was.
Ryder Cup, yeah, a couple of weeks ago.
Right, and I think it was always going to be a bit tough, as we sort of said with the Live boys. They don't play that many events. They don't know how they're going to get on in the Europe team. Obviously, they said you got to be a member of the DP Tour, so that pretty much stopped any Europeans in the Live to be selected. But the USA were, I think, are a little bit more open to it because some of the Americans in there were going pretty good in the majors and on the Live Tour.
Well, they only got Brooksy.
Brooks is the only Live player, and I think it would have been a bit of an uproar if he didn't get picked because obviously he did pretty good in three of the 4 majors. Obviously Bryson, he hit form at a good time, but I think just him being not on the PGA Tour, that was the nail in the coffin. I think if he was playing good golf in the PGA, he would have made it. But yeah, I think being on the Live Tour, I think that's the kicker.
Unlucky. Yeah. Anyway, he picks up a nice little prize. Mark Leishman, good for him. He hasn't played very well for a long time. My tip of Kemi Smith came 40 out of 48. Thanks, Cameron. Who'd you tip last week?
Dustin
DJ,
Johnson.
Come 10th, not too bad. Speaking of the Ryder Cup, Brooks Koepka had -5 over the 3 days, 3 under, 2 under, and even. Don't know if that'll be enough to get him a couple of wins. We'll see. I tipped the Crushers last week, H. My first successful golf tip in a long time. So thank you for anyone that was listening to that one. I don't know when the next Live Golf is. Do we care at the moment? Not really.
I think they have a little break. I think they've got a month break now because of they actually work around the schedule of the Ryder Cup. They go right, give some of the people a break.
They do. They actually take into account all the other big golf tournaments. So yeah. Ryder Cup. We want Team Europe to win.
I think so. They're playing at the Marco Simeon Golf and Country Club. Looks like a very nice course by the pictures and the videos that I've seen.
Fuck, H, you'd hope so.
What?
Like, they're not playing at Russellvale.
No, I know that, but like more the actual views of it all. Some of the countries, I mean, some of the courses they've played off. Obviously, been in Rome. I think we're very.
Looks like a nice course, Bayden. This is what I'm dealing with, right?
Well, you
talking about the biggest team event in golf. Looks like they're playing at a nice course.
You'd want to hope so.
Shit. What do you want me to say?
Like, well, I don't know.
The golf course, maybe Hayes might be better.
I'd shoot under par.
It's in a nice area. I don't know. It's in a nice part of the world, maybe. I don't know. The golf course looks nice. Far out. Do we know who's playing first up? I'm struggling to find it right now. I was on it before, and now
I don't think they've announced the teams yet. I think they do it the morning of, don't they?
Oh, maybe. So tee offs tomorrow at 3:00 our time. Is that all we've got?
Yeah, 3:30, I think, is it? Or 3:00.
Something like that. How did he before?
Pretty much over 3 days. They've got the first session at 3:30 and then the second session at 8:45. I did send a picture in our group chat of what it is.
Is the
It
group
is,
chat
yeah.
just you two boys now, is it?
Actually, someone kicked me out of last week and then added me back
Oh
into it.
yeah, we didn't talk about that. And Shane, I look at my phone. Shano's just said, "Sorry, H," and then added him back in. Oh, Elodie was playing with my phone and just happened to delete
That's a
you
lot
out
of
of the
clicking the buttons.
chat. I'm going. That's a lot of clicking. That's a lot of clicking.
But to go back
Nice.
to the ride schedule is 3:35 foursomes, and then the afternoon schedule 8:35 four ball.
Yep.
And then the second day is exactly the same, foursomes and four ball, and then the final day 8:35 singles matches.
Nice. Foursome straight up. I like that.
Yeah. I think it's the first team of 14. I'm pretty sure it is. I think if mathematically, you can't lose it by then, I think.
Yeah.
So Team Europe all the way for us, I think.
All right. We'll just have to wait.
Bit more of a recap next week because it's hard to talk about it because it's sort of.
I thought we'd have the teams by now. Like who's going to play who? But you're right. They mustn't do it till tomorrow because we've still got another 20 hours or something. Anyway, all right. We're going for Team Europe. We're going for Team Rory, aren't we?
Team Hovland.
Who's the captain? Is it Justin Rose?
I think it's Justin Rose. Yeah,
that's it. We're going for Team Rose, not Team Rose. Team Rose.
Yeah. I'll take that. Well, technically, it's Luke Donald's team and Luke Donald versus Zach Johnson. Technically.
Oh, Luke Donald. Sorry, that's who I meant. Luke Donald, and Zach Johnson. Yes, that's who I'm talking about. So we're Team Donald.
Team Donald.
Team Donald. Okay. Not Team Johnson.
No.
Because we all know what a Johnson. No. Anyway, all right. Cool. Happy with that?
I'm happy with that.
All right.
Bayden's happy with it.
Baydes, thank you again for jumping on. Thanks
for having me, mate.
We will see how you go next year in the tipping comp.
Yeah.
I'll
give you some good starts.
Yeah. Can you actually give me? I want to know your tips before you put them in, so Definitely. I can maybe pick a couple, so I can get up the top of that leaderboard. I want to beat H next year. That's my goal.
But before you do kick me, hey H, I listened to last week's episode, right? I heard you're struggling to mention a name. You couldn't pronounce the word properly.
He does struggle with some names.
What name, mate? I'm sure
it wasn't a name; it was just a word. But I just want to cast your mind back to a couple of years ago. There's a certain word you couldn't say.
I won't be saying that word. Is that what Tommy wanted to? I mean, Tommy said he was going to. My brother said he was going to send a question in, but he didn't.
The listeners, mate, come on. Do you remember it? It was involving FIFA, brother.
I know the word, mate. It starts with S, and I'm absolutely not saying it.
Hit me. I want to know this. This is great. This is quality.
I'll try it off air, but definitely not.
Bit of background, Jolly. We used to play FIFA, and Hayes was blowing up because his player used to always run out of stamina. And I said, "What the fuck is stamina?" He goes, when your player gets tired and it can't run anymore. I said, "You mean stamina?"
It's one word, yeah. One word. Can't say.
And he could not for about a year. He kept fucking himself up. He just couldn't pronounce it.
I don't think I still can't say it, but hey.
Well, look, I wasn't going to say it, but he did just say before that something came to fruition, and I'm thinking, well, it's spelt with an F, so
yeah. But we'll go with that.
It's a bit better job than how I record how I do say the other one, so I'll take that.
Look, we will get to be one of the great podcasts of all time, even with your mispronunciation of multiple words. H more, don't stress.
No podcast goes smooth sailing.
Look, I think we will have enough stamina to be able to get there. Don't stress. I think we'll be able to push through. We'll find some stamina.
I'll leave that up to you.
If I don't work that into every single podcast from now on, Bayden, I'm not here.
Please.
Give us one go.
do a recap at the end of the year of all the words that he said, just cut them out of each episode?
I tell you what, that might be my goal for 2024.
Might be a 4-hour special, that one.
Can you give
I
us
actually
one go at the word H? Just one.
Off air. Not on air.
In your group chat, just voice record your group chat, just send it.
Stanima. Stanima.
I also got prompted to leave you boys a bit of a review on Spotify this week too, fellas.
You did. Thank you so much.
It prompted me to do it, actually. I'd logged on, went to pick a song, and it said, would you like to review this recently listened to? And I thought, right.
Yes, love that.
Maybe
Also, we got
you're making waves in the Spotify world.
I think we are. I put a question on last week's episode. I think will the Panthers get a chance at the three-peat? The 3 people that answered said yes, 100% said yes, and you guys were right. So well done. I couldn't see who answered it. It didn't give me that function, but well done to those 3 people because you were correct. They do get a chance at the three-peat. There you go. So maybe we'll talk off air, Bayden, if we need a question for this week. I'll put it on. Anyway.
Definitely.
On that, go and like us on Spotify or click the little bell so you get the notifications like Bayden does. Like our Instagram page, down the middle podcast. Where else are we, H? That's it. Oh, actually, we've got threads. Threads. I don't know how to do threads yet, but I've made one. I assume it's just down the middle podcast. And
YouTube, down the middle 01.
Down the middle 01.
See these 3 beautiful faces on there very soon as well.
It'll be up there.
I actually look forward to your caption each week too, Joel, if that's your department.
Yeah, that's me, mate. Just big shoulders, mate. Heavy lifting.
He's the one that uploads it all. I actually came up. Did you? Oh no, I came with up the Roosters.
Yeah,
up Roosters. But then you came up with that one last week.
Yeah, good. Just a couple of little things that I do here and there, mate.
Have you got this week's yet or what?
It's all up here. It's all in the fresh haircut. It's all in the fresh haircut. It's up here.
I reckon you should go with up the bras.
Up the bras.
No.
That's what they go. That's what they're going with in Brisbane. That's what they're going with in Brizzy.
Yeah.
I think
up the paths.
No, I think the wires are the only ones that can do the wires. Everyone else is just do your own thing. Just do
I think so as well.
Just go the Broncos or go the Panthers. Let the wires do up the wires. Anyway, like us on all the socials. Do the socials thing. Give us a review. Answer the questions on the Spotify. There you go. Do all that. Send us a DM. We do have an email address. We've got to look it up. Down the middle 01 at Gmail.
It's down the middle .podcast at gmail.com, I think.
No, it's definitely not. It's definitely not. I think it's down the middle 01 at Gmail. Anyway, I'll give out H's phone number next week and we can start texting. It's all goods.
Yeah. I might put my number out there and we'll get some text messages maybe. I don't know. See how it goes.
Jeez. There you go, Bayden. You've heard it here first before that gets to the airways. H Moore's phone number out there. That's dangerous.
I'm taken, but
we'll leave it on that note. Thanks, boys.